Other news we're tracking: tomorrow marks 6 months since the Lewiston mass shootings in which a gunman killed 18 people and injured 13 others. Almost immediately, there were calls for the legislature to pass new laws to prevent another attack.
And with the legislative session officially over, some people are wondering if lawmakers put enough protections in place. News Center Maine's Caroline LaCour got to speak with some of them about the work that got done and what didn't. Caroline?
Hey, Chris and Brian, good evening. Lawmakers I got to speak with admit that not every bill was able to make it to Governor Mills' desk to be signed. That, they say, is just part of the process in Augusta. And at the end of the day, there's still a lot to be proud of.
As they return to their hometowns around Maine, state lawmakers are reflecting on what was accomplished during the legislative session.
I think we were all a little exhausted with the amount of work that had to happen in the last 3 or 4 days.
But in the Lewiston-Auburn area, lawmakers like Representative Kathy Shaw are wondering if enough was done to bring real change after the mass shooting in Lewiston. In my mind, there's a very large divide in our government between Democrats and Republicans.
It's a pleasure of the House.
That divide inside the walls of the State House centered closely around proposals for new gun laws.
And I'm looking forward to seeing how those come out of the governor's office.
Lewiston Representative Kristen Cloutier says she's proud of the work done to pass a ban on bump stocks, introduce a 72-hour waiting period on gun sales, and bring changes to Maine's yellow flag law.
And then we also were able to create a mass violence victims compensation fund in the supplemental budget that will sort of create a continuum of care.
And many lawmakers say improving access to mental health services was a priority, pointing to funding that will now be used to create a 24/7 behavioral health crisis receiving center in Lewiston, among other initiatives.
I received outreach from the shooter's sister, who was in strong support of the bill I had submitted. She had seen her brother fall through the cracks time and again.
Representative Laura Libby says some constituents she heard from were not in favor of new gun laws, instead pushing for even more focus on mental health.
We're not addressing the crux of the issue, and that is a shame to me.
But then we're doing a lot of planning.
While no lawmaker is completely satisfied at the end of the session, fighting for the issues Mainers hold dear is what Representative Shaw and others say was done this April.
We're really lucky in the state to have folks that will stand up and try to do the right thing.
And lawmakers I spoke with say they expect to revisit some of the bills that failed to get a vote this session when they return to Augusta for the next session in January. That could include the proposed red flag law set forth by House Speaker Rachel Talbot Ross. Brian, Chris.
Caroline LaCour live in our studio tonight. Caroline, thank you. And we should also note that tomorrow, the independent commission looking into the Lewiston shootings will hold another hearing. Expected to testify tomorrow are several members of the U.S. Army Reserve, as well as the Director of Victim Services for Maine's Attorney General. That hearing starts at 9 a.m. right at the University of Maine at Augusta.